everyone, my name is Colleen from Property Lim Sisters. Today I will be featuring the up-and-coming Pasir Ris EC Coastal Cabana. There will be two videos that I'll be sharing. First would be Coastal Cabana itself, like the location, the facilities, as well as the floor plans. Second video would mainly be the eligibility in order to purchase an EC, what are the loans like, and so on and so forth. So be sure to watch these two separate videos. First of all, Coastal Cabana is actually the newest EC that comes with unblocked sea view. Let's take a look at the location itself. Number one is definitely close proximity of walking distance to the Pasir Ris MRT right here, which is only 650 meters. Next, there will be up and coming Cross Island Line, which is Pasir Ris East, as well as Loyang. So for some of you who have not heard about the Cross Island Line, it basically increased the connectivity to the up-and-coming Changi Terminal 5, as well as to various parts of Singapore, such as Hougang, Ang Mo Kio, Bright Hill, which is somewhere near Bishan. Next, the most important part would be, where are the amenities? Where are the food? So the good thing about Coastal Cabana is located right next to Downtown East, which offers NTUC FairPrice, as well as eateries like McDonald's, KFC, Yakult, and so on and so forth. For nature lovers, this is definitely an excellent location where you can have your morning stroll or a stroll by Pasir Ris Park after work. Most buyers considering an EC would either be aspiring parents, young couples, or even parents with young kids. So if you are in this category, just to note that within 1 kilometer, there's Haising Catholic, Arena Primary, Pasir Ris Crescent Secondary, as well as Pasir Ris Primary. So what is this growth and opportunities all about? Mostly people who purchase a property, be it EC, HDB, or condo, most people have asked, Colleen, this property can make money or not? But important thing, no one have the crystal ball to share with you whether this property can make money or not. But what I would like to emphasize would be the growth as well as transformation within the vicinity that potentially helps for capital appreciation. So in earlier segment, like what I've mentioned, would be the up-and-coming Cross Island Line. So some may say, so long, 2030. But not forgetting, it also takes time for Coastal Cabana to be built, which means to say by then it TOPs, when you collect your key, you don't need to wait too long for the Cross Island Line to be operational. And of course, like what I've mentioned earlier, would be the close proximity, the convenience to Changi Airport Terminal 5. So some people will say, hey, Colleen, you're very 无聊, you talk about Terminal 5 for what? It's not like we travel in and out of Singapore every day. But then again, if we're talking about Changi Airport, we are also referring to the aviation industry, which means to say potentially more jobs opportunities in this area. Next, Tampines, which is right next to Pasir Ris. There's over 100 regional office, which again leads to increasing of job opportunities in this area alone. Next, Punggol Digital District. Some people will say, Punggol also you want to talk, so far away, it's in the northeast area. Yes, that's for sure. But people who are exploring brand new ECs do not have much options. Right, so somewhere within the close proximity, if you are looking at brand new ECs, Pasir Ris would be one of the best bet. So that's also still within the radius, not too far of a distance in terms of journey-wise. So definitely, again, increasing of job opportunities in the vicinity, as well as Punggol Digital District. Last but not least would be the Paya Lebar Air Base. Right, again, I know some of you will say, wow, you talk about Paya Lebar Air Base so far away, right? But then again, can you imagine today if you are rushing to sell just to take advantage of that transformation at that point of time, or the changes within that location at that point of time? But this is something to take note of, that not only does Pasir Ris have short-term, it also has long-term transformation like this Paya Lebar Air Base. Right. What kind of price increment we are looking at? Honestly, I do not have the crystal ball to share with you. But more importantly, Paya Lebar Airbase would definitely increase housing supplies, increase amenities, increase all the different work, live, and play target audience. Which means to say, if we're talking about more housing in particular, definitely this will push up the price in terms of price comparison. As we all know, Singapore price point, the later you enter, the higher the price point. This is basically the summary of what's up and coming in terms of Changi as well as Tampines. And speaking of which, in terms of increased housing, increased residential supply, just right in the near future, there's going to be one up and coming in the Pasir Ris MRT itself, as well as Elias. Just something to take note of, it might not have a direct impact at this point of time, but definitely the government are actually reviewing the building height to increase the limit that are near the airport. Last but not least would be the supply of ECs. As we all know, ECs come from the government land sales, GLS. So what's up and coming? What's in the future? What if we miss Coastal Cabana? Do we have any other ECs to look out for? I think that's really important to know what are our options rather than sitting on the fence waiting for things to happen. So other than Coastal Cabana, there's also one up and coming, which is Tampines Street at Tampines Street 95. Other than these two in the east, there's one up and coming in the west, if you don't mind the extreme opposite, or right down in the north, Sembawang and Woodlands. Without much further ado, let me share with you more on this development itself. So for this development, there would actually be 4 blocks of 11 stories, 12 blocks of 12 story, and the number of units would be 748. So something to emphasize would actually be the car park lots, which many of you might not be aware. Recently, a lot of developments are only offering 80% car park rules, which means to say you no longer have the luxury of having a one-to-one car park lots with the number of units. And not forgetting to emphasize would be 5 EV lots, because EV cars are on the rise right now. Who are the developers? Mainly Qingjian, Fossey, and these are their track record so far. I believe most of us will have heard of Qingjian, the one who does a lot of condos, EC, BTO. Yeah, so basically these are their track records as well as the awards. For Fossey, they does a lot of infrastructure. Okay, then again, these are their projects that they have done so far. Now let's dive right into the site plan. I believe most people would want to understand, what are the orientation like, what are the facilities, if we drive, where's the entrance, and so on and so forth. So first, for buyers who drive, entrance would be here, highlighted in red. Exit will be on the left as well as on the right. This actually helps to ease up a lot on the traffic. And just a glimpse of how the drop-off guardhouse would be like. Next, for some of us who do not drive, not to worry. Basically, there's also side gates. So side gate number 1, which is where the car park entrance would be. And just to highlight 2 other side gates, mainly on the left and on the right, they actually come with a covered linkway to the bus stop. Okay, and the one on the left have a bus service 354. The one on the right have, of course, more options of bus. Other than that, there's also another side gate right at the bottom left. And to the most important part, a lot of people will ask, is there any west sun? So in general, most of the units, I would say all of the units actually enjoy a full north, south, orientation. But of course, if we are talking about north-south orientation, which means to say east and west are on both extreme sides, you do get sunlight coming in at different parts of the day, but it's not going to shine right into your unit itself. So like what I've mentioned earlier, would be this is the newest EC that offers unblocked sea view. But again, not all units actually offers unblocked sea view. Mainly block 2, block 4, the ones that are front row facing. And just to take note that the sea view only comes from units that are above level 7. Same goes for block 6, block 8. These 4 blocks, front row facing, are the ones that have a clear unblocked sea view. But other than that, there are some spots like this pocket over here for step 29, 21, and 26 that offers pocket view from the bedroom itself, and this from, I would say, mainly more from the balcony. And of course, there's other 2 stacks which offer pocket sea views as well. So why would we say that it's only for units that are above level 7? Basically, right in front of, I wouldn't say right in front, or rather close by to Coastal Cabana, there's actually a development called Casa Almare right over here. So again, if we are looking in terms of the height distance, so I would say on the safe side would be 8th floor up, we will have an unblocked sea view. Right? So for residents who do not go for unblocked sea view, then what does this development have to offer? So basically for block 2 and block 4, there's actually a roof garden which residents are able to access as well with the access card, of course. And you can head up to the roof garden to still enjoy unblocked sea view. Again, pros and cons, which means to say people who would like to go for block 2 and 4 might be flooded with 700 of your neighbors coming to your block. Just an artist's impression of how the roof garden will look like. Okay, and if you don't get a sea view, not to worry, because 75% of the residents do get internal view. And some people might say, the internal view like very close by to each other. So let me just provide you with the dimensions. Mainly 20 meters at least, apart from blocks to blocks. So I would say this is quite a good distance. If let's say you are the type who prefer a much more unblocked view, then my recommendation is definitely go for the front facing or the back facing. And this is how the internal facade will look like. Again, like what you have seen earlier, this distance would be 21 meters. Another artist's impression of the internal facilities facade, and how, again, the function room will look like. The gym overlooking the nice pool area, karaoke room, music room. Of course, there's a lot more to offer in terms of facilities for this development, but these are just some of the key highlights that I would like to emphasize. Okay, so like what I've mentioned earlier, there's actually 2 parts to this video. Later, I would also be providing some of the project analysis of vicinity projects, such as Sea Horizon watercolors, which are both ECs previously. Why do I mention previously? Because as we all know, after 10 years, the development would privatize and be like a condo. All right, down to the next part would be the specs itself. So why would I want to emphasize on the specs? So basically, for those who are buying EC for the first time, is different from a BTO flat. Basically, the developers does up all the carpentry works like the wardrobe, the aircon, the flooring from your bedroom to the bathroom, as well as the kitchen area. So this is how the kitchen will look like. Of course, it would be better for you to let me know when are you coming to the show flat so that you can see it for yourself, because there's a lot of different layouts for Coastal Cabana. Bathroom with natural ventilation, as well as all the fittings and features that would have been provided. Master wardrobe for some of the units selected. Ceiling fan would be provided for all the units in Coastal Cabana. And of course, not forgetting smart home system. How can we miss that? Every development now have this smart home system where you can control it using this gateway. Now, most important thing would be the unit mix. As you can see how the developer have positioned, it would mainly be close to 50% of the 748 units are catered to 3 bedroom, and the rest of it are actually spread across 4 and 5 bedrooms, which means to say the developers would be targeting to sell out most of their 3 bedrooms first. And just to emphasize a little, all blocks would have a basement, car parking, and for block 2 and block 4 in particular, it would have the roof terrace. All right, I hope I don't confuse you guys because there's really a lot of layouts that Coastal Cabana have to offer. I will try my best to break down on the pros and cons, what comes with 3, what comes with 4 and 5, and so on and so forth. So now let's start with the 3 bedroom deluxe. So 3 bedroom deluxe will be typical, what we know as the 3 bedroom compact, where we would have the 3 bedrooms over here, 2 bathrooms, and a household shelter. Just to note that all of the bathroom as well as the kitchen comes with natural ventilation. And just to highlight something that is different would be the aircon latch. The aircon latch is actually under non-strata. Reason being is because of the latest harmonized ruling, which means to say whatever you are seeing over here on the square footage, it does not include the aircon latch. Whereas in the past, whatever you are seeing on the floor plan itself, like the square footage, it does include the aircon latch. Next would be the 3 bedroom premium. What is the main key difference? First of all, would be the extra toilet in the yard area and a small study area right here. Right, some buyers would usually ask, why would I want to have an additional toilet, at the back of the yard? Right, depending on, again, individual lifestyle, some of our clients do have helper. They would prefer to have a separate helper's toilet, or some of them would like to hand wash their clothes and they would prefer the WC to be used as a laundry area as well. All right, so now let's take a look at the 3 bedroom plus study. So if you realize over here at the back of the yard, it does not come with a toilet. Instead, they combine the study area and the toilet into a bigger study area that comes with windows. All right, next we have 6 layouts of 4 bedroom. Let's start with the 4 bedroom classic. So number 1, of course, with the name 4 bedrooms, there's actually an additional 4th bedroom right here. But just to take note in terms of the sizing of that 4th bedroom itself, it can only cater up to a single or super single bed. For the 4 bedroom, there's basically 6 different layouts. Not to confuse you guys, I will try my very best to really break down individual layout. First of all would be D1. D1, 4th bedroom, can only cater to either a single or a super single bed. But notwithstanding, the rest of it are actually similar with natural ventilation for both bathroom, WC at the back, as well as the kitchen area. Next would be D2, 4 bedroom deluxe. So what would be the main key difference? It would be the 4th bedroom. Earlier, it can only fit in a super single or single bed. Now you can fit in a queen size bed. After the 4th bedroom, 4 bedroom deluxe will be 4 bedroom premium. 4 bedroom premium will offer a dry kitchen in the dining area. And of course, it doesn't compromise on the 3 bedrooms or can fit in a queen size bed. Next would be 4 premium plus study. So if you realize that other than the 4 bedrooms, there's an extra study in the middle right next to the master bedroom. So what potentially you can do is these walls are hackable. You can potentially hack off this wall, push the door of the master bedroom, and there you go. A much bigger master bedroom like this. So again, it really depends on your individual preference, lifestyle, whether you would need this extra study or not. You can think through by then. Next would be 4-bedroom premium plus study. The main key difference would be this extra balcony other than the balcony that's offered in the living area itself. But other than that, interior-wise, all are exactly the same. You can again choose to expand the master bedroom by merging the study area with it, or it will be 4 bedrooms plus study and an extra balcony. So some of you may be thinking, hey, why would I need extra balcony? Again, some couples would prefer to have their own private space by having an extra balcony in there. So this is it. Next would be 4-bedroom premium plus flexi. So if you realize this flexi is open right at the living area. So it creates a very nice landscape of the dining living area, opening up the balcony as well. So this balcony will fit and align together with the living. So some people will say, hey, why would I need such a landscape layout, for the living area? Again, it's your preference whether you would like to build in an extra glass panel here that acts up as a study area or work from home concept. Otherwise, you can potentially put in the dining area right here. Next would be the 5-bedroom. Almost done, hanging there. Okay, so 5-bedroom, by its name, we already know there's 5 bedrooms to this layout. But what's most important would be the extra utility room, which a lot of people are facing this difficulty now. Because why? Most people would have a helper at home. And where does the helper sleep? So with that 5 bedrooms, which means to say potentially larger family, the developer have offered not just a household shelter, but an extra utility room right here. So again, it's your discretion whether to turn it into a storage area or a utility room to house your helper. And last but not least, 5-bedroom premium. This is also one of our show unit. The main key difference would be this balcony right here that extends to the 4th bedroom, opening up with a wider landscape frame. These are for families who really enjoy balcony space, but not forgetting again, household shelter and utility room, both are right here for 5 bedrooms. With that, I'm almost coming to the end. Just to sum up in terms of why Coastal Cabana. Number one, there's a lot of pent-up demand, especially for people who are looking at EC in Pasir Ris itself. Over 10 years, there hasn't been new launch right here. Red EC with sea view, again, just to emphasize, is only for the selected blocks, selected stacks, 1 kilometers to schools, and of course, something great for nature lovers would be the close proximity to Pasir Ris Park and close proximity right next to amenities, fair price, KFC, McDonald's, all over there. And of course, just to emphasize in terms of the facilities, there are in fact 2 swimming pools that comes with 50-meter lap pool, 50-meter length. Okay, and other than that, it's a full condo facilities with tennis court and of course, roof garden that overlooks the sea. Last but not least would be the maintenance fees. Very, very attractive as there's 748 of you sharing the maintenance to maintain the entire facilities. I would say this price point is definitely attractive. $330 estimated for 3-bedroom, and all the way even for 5-bedroom, we are only paying $385 estimated per month. So with that, I've come to almost the end with the starting price. That's the most important thing which everyone looks forward to. 3-bedroom starting from 1.438. That would refer to C1, the first layout. 4-bedroom from 1.623. Of course, like what I've mentioned from the start of this video, I would be sharing two videos on Coastal Cabana. First one, I've got it covered right here, would basically be facilities, locality, what's in for Coastal Cabana. The next video upcoming would mainly be what are the loans like, project analysis in terms of vicinity pricing. Should you go for ECs like brand new ECs like this, or should you consider going for resale ECs, resale condos? Yeah, you will have your answer, I hope, on the next video. Right, with that, I've come to the end. Thank you very much. Do like and subscribe our channel. And of course, if you would like to visit Coastal Cabana, please do give me a call so that I can register you for the VVIP preview. Otherwise, I would definitely like to share with you on more project insights, what to go for, your options available based on your current situation. Do ping us, do contact us. We hope to see you soon.